Hey, Connie.
Check complete. Let's head over to the bar.
Yes. So welcome back to another episode of the VAR Bar. I'm your host with the absolute most, Andrew, aka Rapping to the Drew. Someone was asking me about my name, actually, Rapping Drew, and they were telling me, you're not even rapping anymore.
Mad.
We ain't retired or anything yet, man. We're just living life, innit? We're just living life, but it's still Rapping Drew until I say so, innit? So
Come on, man. Normal.
Stay zoned, stay posted. But it's Rapping Drew until I say so, until
Big
infinity.
facts.
But yeah, I'm joined by my gooners again, Mace, Toast. And for your information, they weren't singing today. They weren't showing teeth today. I wonder why. We'll dive into it later. I wonder why. But, you know, how you guys doing?
Hey, good. Like I said, we've moved into expectations now, not shining teeth over a win.
We in the building, man. We here. Start the new month off as we mean to go.
Having a bit of
Another clean sheet.
I'm having a bit of I can't even hear you guys. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear each other?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't hear y'all.
All right.
Technical different.
Y'all continue talking.
But yeah, man. Like I said, I'm good. I mean, like Mace said, no need to shine teeth too much. Do you know what I mean? What is it? We've just got into double figures for games played. Man, we have a long way to go before I can even look at the table with any confidence, you understand? So for at this point in time in the season, it's about putting points on the board, not worrying too much about your ops. Do you know what I mean? Getting consistent performances out of your best players, your key players. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, man, I'm looking forward to getting into it today, man.
Yeah, thank God I heard that last part. Looking forward to getting into it. Yeah, man. Hey, shout out to the comment section. If you're live, if you're local, if you're watching, please like, share, subscribe before you do anything. Just please like the video, share the video if you can. If you haven't already, subscribe as well. Hopefully the chat will be jumpy as usual again. But let's get with the shits, man. Toast, man, kick it off, man. Where do we begin today?
Well, dubs all around, I guess. So I guess there's no reason to start with the loser. Do you get me? So we can start with Arsenal today. I don't mind.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
All right. Arsenal. What did you guys do in midweek? Carabao Cup. We beat
Brighton.
Carabao Cup. Beat Brighton.
2-0, right? Beat
A
Brighton.
little bit of
Carabao
rotation.
Cup. A little bit of rotation. Young Nyaneri with the goal and
Saka.
Who else scored?
Saka game on.
Saka with a goal as well. And then you continued the 2-0 thing this weekend away against Burnley. Gyökeres with a goal, and I think it was Declan Rice.
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken. I didn't watch the second half. I just caught this first half of that game. And always when I don't watch an Arsenal, the reason why I watch Arsenal games, yeah, is because of Shalom. It's because of Shalom and not Toast, Tabo. Because these men will just lie to me about performances. They will lie to me about this guy played this. So I have to watch. So I'm so
It's
upset
funny.
that I didn't watch the second half.
It's funny Drew says that, Mace, because we'll be watching a live episode and his stream will be 15 seconds ahead of ours and he'll be lying barefaced and he's talking to us, man, us Arsenal fans about lying. Can't make this stuff up, man. You can't.
I don't do it, man. You man love to cap, man. Well, obviously, I heard that Gyökeres had a particularly good game. Is that true? Do you mind echo that?
I mean, you saw the first half. What do you think?
The first half, it didn't move me like that. It was okay. It was okay for me. The way people are talking about it online. That's why I'm asking you guys, like, yo.
Burnley aside, and obviously the fact that it's obviously you can see, even though they've had a really good start to the season, shout out Scott Parker, their record at home is very good. And obviously being in Burnley aside, this was the first game where I felt as if the pace of the game wasn't too much for him. Like I felt as if he had his touch under control. I felt as if the link up made sense. I felt as if when he was laying off passes, it was going to reach his destination. I felt as if he was actually doing things like in the flow of the game, you know, as opposed to trying to trap the ball. Oh shit, what am I going to do next? And that's probably been my biggest criticism of him so far. His layoffs were good, his passing was good, his back to goal play was good, well taken finish in and around the box. I've been screaming for it. Yes, it came from a set piece, but I don't care. What do I want from my number 9? To be in and around the box. So when the ball comes into the 6-yard area, I'm the first man there. Like, I want Gyökeres to get 20 goals this season. And if every single goal he scores this season is in the 6-yard box, I'm happy because that's what we signed him for, man. So I don't know why you're smiling for, bro.
I'm just laughing, man. It's all good. I think it was a good goal as well, albeit it was basically on the line, and the majority of the work was done by Gabriel.
Gabriel, a monster in the box.
But like you said, being there in it, because obviously I heard as well. You guys have to confirm for me. I've read that obviously as soon as he came off, attacking wise, you guys were kind of looking meaty. But I don't know if that's true. Is that true?
No, that's correct. Yeah, we did look a little bit meaty, but just to kind of go back on the Gyökeres point, there's been 2 games where he's played well, and I think that's coincided with him being rested. The first game was against Newcastle when he was rested for the Port Vale game, and the second was obviously against Burnley, and he's turned up and he's played really well. So clearly, I think there is a little bit of fatigue there.
Can't handle the three games a week.
I don't think most players can, to be honest with you. Hence why you rotate. But yeah, I think resting him has done him good. So hence why I am looking forward to Havertz coming back. But yeah, I echo everything Toke said. Best game I've seen him playing an Arsenal shirt in regards to the link-up play, just the confidence, the passing. It flowed, and it felt like Arteta robbed us of perhaps a man of the match performance by taking him off. But he was injured. I mean, he was carrying a knock. So obviously Arteta is being very risk adverse now and caution taking him off. But yeah, just to kind of follow on, the game was good. It kind of dropped down in intensity when Marino came, and quality, because you can clearly see how Gyökeres has improved the team. I think that's a great evidence in how.
But is that just based on this game, or are we talking about
just based on the patterns? So when we have the ball, we need a striker to stretch the team, to create that outlet. And someone like Marino and mostly Havertz, they would drop in, right, to take the ball and 1-2 and link up. And that doesn't work, especially when a team is pressing. You need that outlet, you need that out ball. And I think, for me, I would say the Burnley game was a great example of how Gyökeres has helped Arsenal just develop in our style of play. And yeah, apart from that, we closed it out. The only clear-cut chance that Burnley had was the Edwards free kick that hit the ball. It was just, you know what?
Routine.
When you watch, it's routine. I'm not sure about you, Toast or Drew. What Toast more? When you watch, normally when I watch Arsenal, I'm like, okay, I'm worried. Are we gonna do a madness? But in my head, I'm thinking, bro, it's Burnley. You know what I mean? Like, we should be dispatching these teams if you want to be taken serious.
I think, to echo that, Mace, I think the first 10 minutes of the game, it's like, obviously, as a fan, everything is going through your mind, all the worst possible scenarios that can happen. Yeah. But once I saw that we eased into the game and we kind of asserted ourselves immediately, they were on the back foot, we were really knocking the ball around well, I was like, man, we need to be dispatching a team like this. And it's always good to kind of go up early in a game, do you understand? Like, grab a couple of goals early, so you have the luxury of taking off of Gyökeres. Me, selfishly, I want to see him get 20 goals. So I want him to stat pad at every moment possible. But I do love how Arteta is using the squad. Like, and we all know that Marino is usually very good off the bench as well. So even though he's not a natural centre forward in a game like that, I'm not mad at Marino coming on for Gyökeres, 100%.
Nice. Do you think, like, let's say if there was no Gyökeres, there was a Havertz, for example, you would have won this game?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I think so.
I mean, if you want, we're gonna go back to these set pieces again. But if Gyökeres wasn't there, perhaps Havertz would have been there to knock it in.
But
So-
that was Havertz's issue, right? Or the gripe with people that had that he's not always at the right place at the right time.
I mean,
Or
he has
even-
scored. He's got great headers. So I remember the goal against Brentford. That was good. Against Spurs, that was also good. He scored quite good headers. So I think that's his bag. Yeah, I'm not sure what Toast thinks.
He's missed a few headers as well, though, man. I don't know, man. I feel as
One
if
against United was criminal. I would say.
yeah, he's missed
But this
a
one,
few
but this
headers.
one was not to be missed though. This
Nah.
header,
But
even
nah,
Darwin
nah.
would have.
It was
I
hard,
mean,
it was harder to score.
Darwin missed a similar one. To be fair, against what was it Port Vale? Oh, no, not Port Vale. Plymouth in the FA Cup. He
For me-
missed a header like that.
For me, obviously, I just see movement and striker's instincts. I always talk about as like an intangible skill. It's not something you can really teach. It's not something you can really, assess. It's just it's an eye test thing. Do you understand? And anticipating where you think the ball's gonna land. Do you know what I mean? It could have been anyone else, and it was him. So really happy for him to see him score that goal. Yeah, man. Just that's 4 goals in his first 10 games. It's not quite at the 1 and 2 I'd probably like to see, but there's going to be times for him to eat this season. I'm so sure of it, man.
I want to talk about you guys. October. Obviously, you played 6-7 games, 0 goals conceded. Hardly any even shots on. I think you've not conceded a shot on target either, right?
I'm not sure about Burnley, but before Burnley,
I
was
think,
Palace.
yeah.
Was that in October?
Yeah.
Was
and
that
it
was that part of or your XG
Yeah.
against was very, very low?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Just a little bit on kind of a side topic. Like Ken's and people always talk about stats demystify this and that, and numbers never lie. Numbers do lie, bro. Because are you telling me that Eddie Nketiah chance was counted as a shot on target? Because Raya saved it and he hit his head. And Opta is telling us that's a shot on target.
Oh yeah.
Because if that doesn't go through, or it's not counted as a shot, we make history. FYI.
Yeah.
Anyways, move on. I just had to gripe.
But I
about
think regardless, that's the reason why I mentioned it. Regardless, it's history. Like to not concede a goal in a whole month, and you've played European football, cup football, league football, to hardly concede or to just concede 1 shot on target. I have to give my flowers to Arsenal, man. I have to give my flowers. And I also wanted to say this. I'm going to say this now because obviously the misconception that people have about Arsenal because of this particular stat is that Arsenal are a defensive team. And I kind of want to move away from that. Saying that Arsenal are a defensive team is agenda because there's a difference between being a defensive team and being good defensively. Arsenal are just good defensively. Right?
Very well said.
And
Very well said.
And I think, but that's not to say that I don't feel like teams have not tried to get at you or you're not to be got at. I don't think that at all from the games that I've been seeing. Teams have tried, teams have whatever. Sometimes there's been a bit of luck or just unlucky on part of, in terms of the other team. They've been unlucky with their final, delivery or whatever. But at the same time, man, this particular record or just your defensive record this season is unprecedented, man. And I think now this shows like evidence of like defense will win you titles because you're pairing the defensive resoluteness with scoring enough goals to win games and shut up shop. Like you said, Shalom, like if you score the first goal, that's important because then you can kind of, as the bigger team, dictate what you want to do. And that's I think is the only difference between Arsenal and Liverpool, to be fair. Like, we are not defensively resolute and we concede a lot of our chances a lot of the goals that we concede them first and very early. And that's what already you're on the back foot. Already your tactics have changed. Already you're figuring out, okay, what do we need to do now? You know what I mean? So I have to give my flowers to Arsenal for that, man, because I don't know how you guys see it. Do you guys see it like, yo, this is one of the best defensive teams that we've ever seen? Not defensive team, but defensive displays that we've ever seen from a team. How do you guys see it? Can you break Chelsea's 15 goals in the Premier League record? Can you break a Champions League record?
I'll set pace to this one. So we're 10 games in, 28 games left, conceded 3 goals. Chelsea's record's 15. So we need to basically concede no more than 12 goals in the next 28 games. For me, this is not really a record that I want to even be thinking about or considering. And I don't think it's something that, while Mourinho's Chelsea teams did pride themselves on being really good at the back, like Ricardo Carvalho, Terry, Paulo Ferreira, who was left back? Was it Ashley Cole? If we remember, those teams were also exceptional going forward. Do you know what I mean? I think it just so happened that they had a really good defense, but I actually see that team more defined by the quality they had, like the likes of the Drogba, the Damien Duffs, the Arjen Robbins, the Makalele through the middle. Do you understand? So Arsenal, however, like I've always said, I've always seen Arsenal to be a team made in Mikel Arteta's identity. I understand that he came from the Pep Guardiola tree, but I feel as if it's just time that we really kind of separate the two, because his ideals are not Pep Guardiola's ideals, in my opinion. I don't see them as like similar managers. I don't even think their philosophies are similar. So I have to look at what I see Arteta doing and what he's getting across to the team. I've come, obviously, historically, have seen Arsenal teams play some magical football, some exceptional football. Like, we're talking Invincibles era, we're talking the early Emirates era, but this is a new Arsenal, man. And Arsenal, in my opinion, our identity is our defense, and it's not our attack, in my opinion. And there's been years when I've gone to Anfield and I've got slapped 4-0 in a 5:30 kickoff game. I've gone to Man City and I've held Corn 5-6-1. I've gone to OT, lost 8-2. Whether we're playing City, whether we're playing Liverpool, whether we're playing Burnley, I go into every game knowing now that I don't even expect my team to concede more than 1 goal. And when I used to go to those stadiums and play those fixtures, and there were even times when it was Stoke away, Burnley, Bolton away. We could even go back as far as like the 2000s. Like, there was a level of control that Arsenal just lacked in those games. And I always kind of felt as if going into those games, it was men v boys. Now, when I look at my team, for the first time in a long time, I'm like, these are grown men. Like, these men play with so much pride defensively. Like, the whole team the whole team defends as a team. And it's so beautiful to see. And end of the day, whether or not we do or whether or not we don't, like, kind of break this record, I'm just so proud at the progress that this team has made and the strides that we've made defensively, because at the end of the day, like, we might not be the most formidable team going forward. Like, Saka's not scored. He scored 1 goal, I think, in his last 15 games, I think, in the league, which is something that we probably have to soon start talking about. But we're defending so well that we can afford Gyökeres to have only got 4 league goals. We can afford Eze to have only got 1 league goal. We can afford Saka to only have, 1 league goal. So, yeah, man, we're in a good place, man. But obviously, there's still a lot more work to be done.
Stephen in the chat saying, Drew, why were Jose's team called defensive even though they scored bare goals? Look, for me, the point that I made with, like, you know, being good defensively and being a defensive team is 2 different things. I think Jose's team, they were being called defensive, and fairly, in my opinion, because they were more of an opportunistic team. Arsenal as well, but in a different way. But I'll explain. I think you're a defensive team if you pride yourself kind of on, like, mistakes, going on the counter, like sitting back, mistakes, going on the counter, and not really trying to take onus in a lot of the big, especially the big games. Obviously, in the smaller games, you take the onus, you do what you want. But in a lot of the big games, Jose would happily concede possession.
Yeah, facts. Part of the bus, I feel, is it developed from
his Inter Milan team is a perfect example of a defensive team. They scored a lot of goals, but they were very opportunistic. Arsenal, for example, I think they're opportunistic as well in terms of their set pieces. But Arsenal do not park the bus and and hit teams on a counter. And that's one reason is because they're not good at it. Arteta also identified that Arsenal are also not good at when the game is open, like ping pong football, whatever. Arsenal are not good at that neither. But Arsenal do keep the ball in most of the games. They do have most possessions in most of the games. They do try to play through teams in most games. They do have players in midfield that are progressive as well. So I don't see Arteta's team similar to Jose's team, in my opinion.
Same.
Like Steven, let me know if I've answered if it made sense what I said. But
and for me, Drew,
this season. Yeah, go
on. Just to piggyback off that, and I appreciate the objectivity you're coming with that point. A clear example of that is that new stat that we saw in the VAR podcast group chat this weekend, where most touches in opposition penalty box this season, Arsenal. And I think we were 50 clear of this joint second, Liverpool and City. And Liverpool are a very good attacking team. I know you've had a bit of a weird patch in the past month. City, obviously, we know they're a very explosive attacking team. So for Arsenal to have had that many more touches than not even just like the middle pack teams in the league, the second or third, sorry, let me not say that, the top three teams in the league, it's very telling of the kind of team that we are. So yeah, man, like the team has made like a lot of strides. And I genuinely believe when Arsenal can convert those touches into the box to free-flowing goals and high volume of goals and high volume of quality chances created and big chances in games, it's long because Arteta has already identified what we're doing at the back, and that's already identity. So that and again, we'll probably get onto the chat a bit later. Steven's making a great point. Like in a game like the Liverpool game earlier this season, we didn't show enough going forward, and that's ultimately why we won the game. And it's all well and good trying to be a good defensive team for 90 minutes at Anfield, but you can't go to Anfield and expect the opposition not to score at least one goal and then you give absolutely nothing offensively. So for me, where we need to see Arteta next is that development in front of goal and, finding a way to unlock his players, because we can't have our talisman score one goal in his last 15 Premier League appearances. It doesn't make sense to me. Like,
let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question based on the stat that you gave, right? That you have the most touches in the opposite box, but then your XG is like very low as well from open play, of course. Your XG is very low as well. So, Shalom, I don't know if you're able to answer this. What is it? Is it a lack of quality? Or is it a lack of no good attacking patterns that Arteta has created yet? Like, why do you think that is? That those two is it's a juxtaposition, those two stats.
Well, in terms of the fact,
so you've got the most touches in the opposite box, but your XG from open play, so your chances created from open play is low at the same time.
I think there's a clear answer there, and this is the way I see it. The reason why we have most touches is that we are dominating teams. So teams are either sitting predominantly in the mid or low block. So we will get the possession, but we're not breaking those teams down via open play. You understand? So because we're not as good in doing that exactly. So
but that's what I'm saying. Is it a lack of quality in terms of the players, or is it a lack of attacking patterns, which ultimately comes from the coach?
I think it's possibly a lack of quality in terms of the players.
You think so?
Disagree, man.
Eze,
Mace,
Saka.
Come on, Mace.
I don't think
on
so,
paper.
Eze,
Saka. Players on paper, bro.
I'll explain. I'm not saying the players are not good. I'm saying they're not
showing the quality.
They're not showing their quality. They're not doing better. Like, okay, I wouldn't use Salah this season, but we know what Salah could do. Some of the chances that say Saka had, or I don't know, whoever played, or Madueke, Salah is finishing that. So I think the way we have been remedying it is via our set pieces. That's basically the way I see it. I think we can do better going forward, but we're just not doing that. But also equally, take the Brighton game, take the second goal we scored against Burnley. When the game is open, we do take our chances. We just don't see it a lot because
when there's space behind, like against Madrid.
Exactly. When they come to play us, we do take our chances, and I think that has to be made extremely clear to everyone. I don't
That Brighton game, by the way, they should have been 2-0 up.
exactly. I agree.
They should have been up,
They
boy.
should. I don't know how we won that game because Brian should have taken their chances.
Yeah.
So
But
when
yeah, it doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter. When teams come to play, when they open up, we take our chances. But when they sit back, it's harder, and we just don't have. Well, we have the players, but they're not stepping up. For example, Saka should have scored 2 goals against Burnley. Do you understand?
I saw the one chance.
Precisely.
Missed, yeah.
I know, and I use Salah a lot. I know that caliber. He's scoring that. You understand? So for me, I think, our players can do better. But if you do open the game, we will score.
Yeah. Let me go to the chat quick. Gerald is in the chat as well. He said it baffles me how Arsenal struggle to score from open play with their setup and players. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I think it's a coaching thing personally because there's too many good quality players that he has a fixture. But maybe what Toast is saying, Arteta, he just wants to focus on solidity and then y'all figure it out up front. That's what it looks like at the moment.
But the thing is, Teta has showed us in the
feels
past
like
that he can open game. He can play expansive. So so perhaps you could say it's a coaching thing. And you know what? Let's just kind of walk that because I thought about this. One of the reasons why even the players has said this, why we've been good defensively, is the introduction of Heinze as an ex-defensive, as a defender himself. So he's helping the defense in terms of how they play, etc. I don't know if Arsenal has bought an attacking coach. We have a set-piece coach. We now have a defensive coach. But is anyone helping Mikel in regards to, okay, this might not be your bag?
Nicholas Bentner, bro.
some
Henry.
something like that. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
James.
no, for me, I definitely think it's coaching on the offensive end, man, because for me, I just see a lot of predictability in our attacks going forward. Like when Trossard gets the ball, I know what he's going to do almost every time, which is almost cut back in and look to see maybe if Calafiori has kind of like made like a little inverted run. There was a game a couple of weeks ago where I thought we unlocked something, which I unfortunately have not seen. I noticed that whenever Yot gets the ball in like the 18-yard box with his back to the defender and spins, he almost always gets a shot off. So I thought, you know what? That might be something that they've identified and we're going to kind of go to. For me, that comes down to coaching. Putting your best players in the best position to succeed. If Haaland is getting those balls on the spin, that's cash money every time. So we've clearly seen in a couple of games and in a couple of situations what Gyok is quite good at. And in the last couple of games, I've not seen situations where we've managed to feed him through the middle. Trossard is so predictable from the left. Saka, I mean, man, I don't even know what's going on with Saka right now. But I think we just need to allow him to play through it because we're still winning. And
new Connie talks.
I can only take it as a positive that we're still playing so well as a team, and who I consider to be our best player is still performing quite underwhelmingly offensively, both by numbers and both by performance. So,
before we move on quickly, can we touch on one player who I think is taking his game up new levels?
Hold on, let me go to the chat. Let me go to the chat, and then we go to the next topic there. Kenna saying the 2 games Arsenal have dropped points. The team has stopped them from scoring set pieces. If Teta can unlock that open play weakness, then Arsenal will be the real deal, which is a good point. And then Kenna saying, look at Arsenal's 5 away games this season, 4 wins and 1 loss. All their wins, they scored a set piece. The 1 loss, no set piece at Anfield. Yeah. So obviously that comes down to the sustainability part where like the longer the season goes on, will teams clock it? Will teams figure it out? Will teams now? Obviously, teams are training whenever they face Arsenal on the set pieces. They still can't stop it. But then the longer the season will go on, the more teams will figure it out. And then that's where Arteta now has to coach the other side, innit? But like Gerald is saying, the thing is, if I'm an Arsenal fan, I'm not really complaining too tough at the moment. A win is a win. You're getting your points on board, man. So it's all good. Mace, yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring up Deck. And for me, I saw a change, especially in the England game. Usually with Deck, he's the type of player who relies on his normal attributes, the fact that he can He's a ball winner. Like he's physically good, etc. But when at the England game, I saw a player who was more or less put all the pieces together. Saw a player who was very confident in himself, his passing. He just looked like a general in the midfield. And obviously, fast forward to the Burnley game, him scoring his goal, how assured he is. I just think he is taking the next step in his development. And I'm not sure what you guys think. Are we now seeing the Declan we bought for 105 mil? That's the question.
I'm happy that this topic has come up because I recall a few months ago, I think it was towards the end of last season, Drew had a question for us. He was asking us, do we feel Rice is doing enough for Arsenal? And I've maintained it from jump. There is no player at Arsenal Football Club that is asked to do more, whether that is set pieces, whether that is the corners, whether that is the free kicks, whether that is breaking up play, whether that is reading danger, whether that is making progressive passes forward. Everyone used to say, he's not press resistant, he's this, he's that, he can't pass forward, he can't ping a ball. We're seeing the 105 million that we paid for now. Like I feel like he's made strides in every single aspect of his game. And in the things that he already does really well, he's doing it at a very, very high level. Like Chelsea, you guys can have your Caicedo. I'm not even entertaining the discussion. Not because I don't think Caicedo is a very good player. It's because what Rice gives Arsenal, no one can replicate it. That's what I'm saying. Caicedo can be good at whatever he wants to do at Chelsea. I'm just saying what we ask of Declan Rice, no one else can replicate it. And there's no one else I'd rather have in that position. Simple as that, man. And I'm glad that people are now being objective and people are now giving Declan Rice a fair assessment. Because the proof's in the pudding. Like, you're either watching the game with your elbows or not your eyes if you can't see what Declan Rice is producing. It's as simple as that. It's simple as that. Like you can't, no one can cap on Declan Rice anymore because he has been so consistent, bro.
Yeah. I've got nothing to say, man. I mean, one of my main things with Declan Rice was just like, just the tech part of his game. And obviously, I think towards the latter stages of his West Ham time and like early stages at Arsenal, I think that was fair. And I'm not talking about his shooting or his passing. I'm not talking about that, but just a little intangible tech, like taking a ball from a half turn, being able to, you know what I mean? Those kind of things, the things that, you know, Caicedo is really, really good at. But now I'm seeing those kind of things pop up as well, where it's like that he's really, really showing out. And like you said, he's doing a lot of things for Arsenal, but to a very high quality. The set pieces, quality. Like, you man are not scoring that many set pieces without Declan putting them in the way he's putting them in. You know what I mean? Breaking up play. We've been knowing about the breaking up play and him, you know, being able to, you know, basically be a Hoover and suss out danger, you know, but he stepped it another gear. And just other things, man, like, you know, even his ball carrying for me has improved a lot as well, because his decision making is a lot better now that I've seen since last season, actually. So no, but you've seen me. I've had no smoke for Declan Rice per se. I've been quiet. When I'm quiet, I'm fair, man. I'm a fair guy. I'm quiet. So Declan, for sure, man. I'm even hearing Declan shouts for Door, PFA. I'm hearing all sorts. I'm hearing all sorts.
The trajectory of the season goes this way. Like, he's a shoo-in for PFA. Like, he has been outstanding this year, man. So let's not get ahead of ourselves. But man, like, people were saying, he doesn't score enough. We're not going to be able to replace the goals and assists that Xhaka gave us. The proof's in the pudding, man. Like, watch the game with your eyes.
Let it land first. Let it land first, of course. Let it land. Still a quarter one. Let it land. Kenna said, even me as a top Rice hater affairs, he's been hooping the last 18 months. But for England, he still needs a top technician next to him. He should not be the main conductor for England. Zubimendi is a great fall to him. Thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. But who though? Would it be, what's his name from Forest?
Elliot.
Yeah. Oh,
England ain't got a Zubimendi or someone in that mode.
I mean, Elliot, I guess, is the closest.
Unless they try to squeeze in, what's his name? Kobe Mainu, but he's not. he's not. He's not in the picture anymore. Steven saying Declan too clear. Kenna say this is Hendo 1820 run. He still needs a bit more to touch that version of Hendo. He won for Kenna, please, man. This Kenna, Declan is already clear of Henderson. There's a lot of midfielders clear of even that version of Henderson. I don't care what anyone says. No one can pitch me Henderson ever. Kenna, Stevie G's best season was when he had Alonso next to him. No harm in that. He's not a 6. I agree. I definitely think like the move to put Declan Rice in the 8 was a brilliant move. I think that's when we saw what Declan is really about. And obviously, Arteta has been going back and forth with journalists a lot about Declan Rice and what Declan Rice's best position is or how he sees Declan Rice. And in regards to Arteta's vision for Declan Rice, I completely agree, man. Like, that is his position. The 6 is not really clicking, but him just being in the 8, so that means being able to affect going forward, but also going back, but not necessarily having to be the conductor. It's perfect for Declan. Perfect. Stevie's best, Adam Wharton is the one. So Adam Wharton next to Declan Rice, he's saying, for England. Point is having the right profile next to you can unlock for sure. Wharton is a technician. Gerald is saying LOL Kenner for sure. Like, he's always trying to squeeze in Henderson, man. On that note, man, shout out Arsenal. Top of the league. What is it? 25 points? I can't believe I ain't got the league table in front of me, man.
Yeah, 25 points. 10 wins, 10 games, 8 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss.
Lord Jesus, free GA. That free GA looks good, you know. That looks good, man. 15 goal difference, 25. Last 5, the most informed team in the league. Wow. What's that? Champions elect. Or one game at a time. One game at a time.
Sunderland next. Easy, my brother. Let's just focus on the next game.
Say less. Let's move on, man. Let's move on to my FC, man, because obviously it was a tough time, man. Tough time to be a Liverpool fan. What is it? 6 out of the last 7 games prior to obviously yesterday's game were lost. 6 out of 7. We got our joy back briefly in Germany, Frankfurt, the financial capital of Germany. Slot was, I don't know if he was under pressure in terms of like from within, but definitely outside noise they were adding to it. They were piling on from the Liverpool camp, from the outsiders. It was looking long. So what? Leicester City comes, not Leicester City. What do they call it? Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace game. Midweek. Where people said like, yo, after the Brentford L, you need to get your joy back, play your boys. But my gaffer, he was like, yo, we don't care for the Carabao Cup too tough. Let's just play the second string and the young boys. I'll firm this L, but let me focus on Saturday because that's where the dot needs to come basically in the Premier League. Now, for me, the way I looked at it is I was a bit 50-50 with that. I'm not going to lie. I didn't watch the game fully. I watched like the last 10 minutes. But I was 50-50 with that because that loss against Brentford must have been damaging. Like, in terms of the players. Like, you can't even lose to the teams that we lost to. But I think the Brentford one, that was the game that was meant to be the one that was the resurgent one. We spoke about it last week. But we lost. So then the next game at home, you're thinking it needs to be like a morale booster, you know what I mean? He went with like a fairly young squad. We lost 3-0 at home. Crystal Palace, they had no business. And it was funny because Crystal Palace, ever since they beat us, they ain't won a game neither. So we both came into the game like needed to feed ourselves, know what I mean? But they just came with a strong team. They needed a dub. They got the dub. And I think, we let it slide. It's the Carabao Cup. It's fair enough. Obviously Saturday came around. Another game at 8-9 p.m. man. Like I don't like these that late night where everyone is watching type. But yeah, for me personally, I was like, there's no other option for us to win. I don't care in what form Villa is in. I don't care in what form we are in. Bro, there's no other option but a dub. We couldn't lose. We couldn't draw. We couldn't lose. We had to win. And we ended up winning the game. But there was a huge difference that I saw from this game and the game against Brentford, man. And obviously, Shalom, You touched upon it in terms of Brentford, where we lacked and where the game was lost, and that was physicality. And I think that was where we won it to yesterday against Villa, because against Villa there was no time for beautiful football. There was no time for passing patterns. There was no time for. It was just everyone was just doing their job, and everyone. This was Salah's best performance this season. He was moving Dino. I don't know if you guys watched the game, but he was moving Dino ragged. Obviously, Gravenberg being back helped a lot as well. Villa's style of play, of course, helped a lot as well, because it's no long balls. They tried to play it out from the back. Before they did it against City and got the dub, they could do it against us as well. But I think we press a lot better than City. So yeah, we picked them out on that part. But yeah, the 2 goals, of course, that we scored were pretty fortunate. But at the same time, I felt, all things considered, we deserved the win at the end of the day. Sorry. What did you guys think?
Yeah. Let me start off. Just a little bit, kind of like a dig at you. Isn't it funny how if you defend well and you show a little bit more physicality, like your luck like turns? You understand? Because that's
I mentioned it.
Yeah, I know. I'm just kind of
yeah.
I'm echoing that. That's
Yeah.
something that's been missing it with Liverpool. It's just if you stay in the game long enough and you show all of that, your luck will turn. And talking about luck, imagine if Morgan Rogers' goal, the chance goes in.
Yeah. Then we start
again.
We start again.
Yeah.
So we needed that bit of luck.
You needed that bit of luck. Just to go back to kind of what you said regarding Slot's decision to play the young boys, I think you can probably argue he played off. You can argue that the fact that he rested his team gave the players the extra or just the rest to play with some more intensity against Villa. And I think it definitely did pay off. I don't want to run agenda, but it's interesting that the likes of, even though Bradley has an asterisk next to his name, but playing with Robertson and Bradley gave a little bit of more of like a structural integrity or something about that team that
I think the Robbo part, obviously you've been screaming it, other people been screaming it as well. Nevin, Evening Gents, he's been saying, I didn't want to talk to Nevin, but he's been saying it as well. But Robbo, obviously, in terms of like, you guys know, when you guys were rating Robbo, I was already off the Robbo boat because he makes me nervous defensively. Like, honestly, he makes me nervous. But in terms of our build-up, I have to agree. He's way better. He's way better at the moment than he is. He makes better decisions, better passes, and, we can build up properly with him. Know what I mean? Yeah. So, yeah, definitely agree with that.
So, yeah. I think this type of game, you just have to take the 3 points and just keep it stepping. Because what you needed was kind of what's it called? A regain. Okay, guys, this is done. Let's get that 3 points. Let's move forward. And I think this was a great game to have that regain. Could we talk about like the fact that Wirtz didn't start? That could be a conversational, like something we can discuss. I guess the question is, for me, is that the people, the players that didn't start, are they? I wouldn't say detriment, or is there like a big question mark to their name in regards to how Liverpool play?
And
Toast, you can weigh in as well.
Yeah, go on. Yeah, go on, Toast. You can answer that. I can answer that. I can.
No, go on, Drew.
I mean, for some, definitely. Like you mentioned, Florian Wirtz. Because in his position, Szoboszlai played, right? And Szoboszlai, I don't want to compare him to Declan Rice in terms of like, levels. But in terms of like being an all-action midfielder, he's our all-action midfielder that's doing everything for us in this midfield. Szoboszlai in the 10 has performed way better than Wirtz has shown so far. You know what I mean? Wirtz now need to look and think like, yo, am I going to get back into this team? And how am I going to get back into this team? Because there's no Carabao Cup now. FA Cup starts in January.
For you,
know what I mean?
What do you think the issue with Wirtz has been, in your opinion? If you could break it down like as succinctly as possible.
I think it's just growing pains, getting used to this new team, and getting used to the league. I'm happy to give words next season. I said, like, I will judge him properly next season. I did the same with Gravenberg.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm
Wow.
sorry. I'm not happy. I'm not saying I'm happy with words with what he's showing me. I'm happy to give him time. That's what I'm saying.
Brother, do you know how crazy it is to spend 100 million on a player and in November we're already saying, all right, man, let's see what happens next season.
Yeah.
That's
It's crazy.
insane.
No. That's insane. I 100% agree. Like, everyone that has criticism for words, I get it. Of course. It's absolutely insane. But at the end of the day, not everyone, adapts at the same time in the same way, innit? You have to give people at least a season, especially people like that. At least a season. Obviously, for 150 mil, you have to hit the ground running. But again, that was a conversation that we're having yesterday, Mace, about gamble. Has the gamble paid off so far? No, he hasn't paid off so far. But, he signed a 5-6 year contract. I'm willing to weigh it out. I'm not going to judge him too harshly at the moment. But what I will say is, like, I want to see him either play on the left instead of Cody, or remove McAllister and play him there. But he's not replacing Soboslai in that 10 position. That is not something that I want to see for now. Definitely not. But in terms of, like, should we judge words now and write him off the way Mace wants to write him off, the way a lot of people want to write him off? I'm not there yet, man. I don't want to.
I'm gonna have
What's
to.
funny for me?
I'm not writing him off. I like him as a player. I'm just not writing him off. But yeah.
What's funny for me is preseason. Friend of the podcast, Kenna, said, Verts is going to change our lives, lads. He's going to change our lives, lads. And now,
he was hooping, though.
In November, in the chat, people are saying his only current position is the left wing. Do you know how crazy that is? And then we got Brother Drew telling me, Brother Drew's already looking to August 2026. We're in November. Like, so you're basically saying that you're not even sure over the next 28 games if he's going to give you some sort of return on the investment. How can you be looking at next season already and not find that to be crazy? That's
because
like,
obviously, like, for me, like, in the first couple of games, I'm clearly seeing that he has an issue. He has several issues. Getting used to his teammates, seeing where he fits in. Maybe that's a manager thing as well. Maybe that's a slot thing, not really giving him a position or extra instructions as to what to do. And also the physicality of the league. He's not really up to scratch. A lot of players that took a season or two even to get up to Soboslai the same. We were writing Soboslai off last season. Look at him now. So therefore, that's why I'm like, fam, let people land. Gravenberg, same way. People wrote him off after his first season.
I hear it. But the difference for me is the expectations, bro. Like, no one can tell me that the expectations of the big money signing coming in was the same as Zobo. I knew Zobo was quality before he came to Liverpool. I didn't probably watch Gravenberg that much before he came to Liverpool, but the expectations were not as high as Florian Wirtz. So for me, he needs to pull his finger out and get back in the first team. You're the big money signing. You're the staple signing that the Premier League champions made. And you're holding the bench. Like, and it's funny because we looked at his performances in the first, 4 or 5 games. He probably could have got dropped sooner. It was almost as if, nah, he can't get dropped. So he's just a big money signing. We just signed him. But now you can't justify starting him because he's not playing well.
If we're just gonna be objective about it, yeah, do you think in terms of performance-wise, all of his games have been stinkers?
I don't think all of his games have been stinkers.
Huh? The best game is probably Palace. The
Community Shield.
The Community Shield, yeah, that's probably the best game. I think for me, that's the only game that he stood out the most.
So what about Arsenal? Second half specifically.
I don't remember that game.
Do you know what concerns me the most? Do you know what concerns me the most about Wirtz is, and this is being, for me, in my opinion, being completely fair. I can't remember one good game where I was like, yeah, man, this guy has had a really impactful impact on the game. He's really taken the game by the scruff of the neck. He's really been high volume in the chances created. He's really been high volume in terms of dictating. I can't say. I can't think of one game. And that's a big
Yeah.
concern for me.
But I don't
Another
think
thing-
he's been. I don't think he's
another-
been stinky.
I don't think he's been
In
awful
all
every
of the
game.
games
No,
either,
I'm
like-
not gonna say that. I'm
I
not gonna
think
say
that's
that.
Another thing
as
that
well.
another
Yeah.
like thing I haven't seen from him is because when I saw him when he played for Germany, even in the Bundesliga, is his shooting tech. When he can take the ball and hit it from different angles, I don't see it. It's like
Yeah.
it's gone.
But his move is shy, and that's my issue with him. I think that's another thing as well, where like he's moving a little bit like self-conscious about the things that he's doing. He's not really sure.
Confidence is
Yeah,
low.
And if
Confidence
you
is
have to
low.
compare him with like an Ekitike, for example, like he is taking this whole opportunity with all his might. Like, yo, I need to show what I'm doing. I need to, and he's also young. You're the same age,
Yeah.
bro. But there's a huge contrast in confidence levels and wanting to try things with both players. Know what I mean?
I mean,
And that's
with Ekitike, you have Isaac in his back. So, and I feel like that guy is pissed off. Like
But even I don't know, Drew. I don't know Mason Drew. I don't know if it was the case of before they signed him, all of the chatter about Isaac potentially coming was making him hungry. But from the Charity Shield game, the Community Shield game, Ekitike, bro, he fit in perfectly, bro. It was like a perfect piece to the puzzle, honestly. And that, whether or not that's off the bench, whether or not that is starting, the guy
not really.
has just not really been impactful, man.
He should
He's
have
not
been on a
impactful.
few. He should have been on a few more assists though. But that's neither
because
here or there.
Drew, just very quickly, I would like to understand his mindset right now as a player, because usually in terms of the journey of a play with the caliber of Wirtz, you would have thought he would have gone Munich, right? You would have thought Bayern that's your next destination, but he's chosen to come to Liverpool, right? He's picked his team. Do you reckon in his mind he's thinking, I should have gone Bayern?
Mate, you always ask this, bro. You did the
No,
same
no,
with
no.
Isaac. You did
No,
the
no,
same with Ekitike.
This is the question, Anna. This goes back to why he's moving shy, etc. Like, is there that lack of confidence just in his
Maybe,
mindset?
but I think to be honest, I think the reason why he may have not chose Bayern is the competition with Musiala. That's what I think. That's what I think he didn't want to, because that it would have been the same there probably. That I don't know, the fitting in and the whole Musiala situation. That's why I think he chose to go to Liverpool, where he saw a gap in the market. Obviously, Szoboszlai was not really performing that well in the 10 position at that moment of time. So he thought, yo, at Liverpool, I can start play the games that I want to play, have a good platform, and then go for the stars. But it hasn't worked out that way.
Just to clarify, I'm not.
But I rate the move though.
Precisely.
I definitely prefer him doing this than going to Bayern.
This is where I'm heading to. I'm not taking a dig at anything, at Bayern, whatever. I'm saying, has he got to a point where he's probably realized this level is kind of hard? I didn't clock how hard this jump is. And he said,
this is a topic that I want to say for later, because Xavi Simons, I want to touch on that as well, because I agree with you. They might think that, yo, we've underestimated this Prem thing. This is actually, we can't glide and players bouncing off us as easy. Nah, you have to really assert yourself in this league. And yes, it's different, man. Let me go to the chat. However way we want to think, we still seem to be Salah reliant. Best Salah performance of the season, and that's the team's best game. When we play through Salah and he isn't isolated, we played great. Playing Sobo in the 10 helps to unlock Salah. I agree, man. Like, our performance or the result, and it was synonymous to Salah also playing well and pulling his weight as well. So that's crazy if you have to think about it with all the quality players that we have on paper. Nevin say, look at Mace. Worst was a last-minute decision, fitness issue. Apparently it was a fitness issue. That's why he started on the bench. So he wasn't 100% fit, but he was meant to start apparently. Kenna saying, worst only current position is left wing. He has no business in the 10 at the moment, as he does not complement Salah. Zobo complements Salah. Agreed. For me, it's a quality issue. He has zero end product. Can't carry a man with no end product. Compare him to Shirky. Shirky's a way worse physically than Wirtz, but he has shown his quality with the ball. Wirtz has no goals and assists in 10 Premier League games. Shirky has 3 goals and assists in 5 games. Man. Nevin, man. Please respond, if you please. Gerald saying, agree with Toast. Can't think of one standout performance for worse this season, goals and assists aside. Yeah, I can't even argue that, man. That's completely fair. Another person I wanted to pick out from Liverpool was Van Dijk, because yesterday I saw Van Dijk. I didn't see Van Delegate. I don't know if you guys noticed as well how he was more assertive in his defensive actions yesterday. Like, he wasn't pointing, he wasn't being passive with it, he wasn't jockeying. Man was for 90 minutes, man, and that's what I wanna. Yeah, that's what I want to see. Yes, you might aggravate an injury, you might get a muscle injury, Van Dijk. I know, but right now this is what we need, bro. So I really like
man go defensively. Like I said, Van Dijk, from the personnel standpoint, is by far and large your best defensive player. And from a defensive standpoint, you guys go as he goes. Do you understand? So, like, if Van Dijk is asking the other players who have just not been at the races defensively this season to do more, it's not gonna be a good outcome, man. So I think we're gonna be seeing a lot less of Van Delegate this season and a lot more of those sort of performances from Van Dijk. I expect that, because for me, that seems like that was something that was conscious. And maybe you were a bit lucky to not concede at least one goal, but it's a clean sheet at the end of the day, man. So
100%. Obviously, to the Eintracht game, he wasn't too impressed in terms of like going forward. It was just get our joy back. Our next two games is Madrid and City. I mean, we beat we had the same triple games last season as well, where we beat all three teams. Do you think this is a good omen to go on and repeat it again?
I'll be so real, man. I think these next two games for you, at the very least, is going to tell you a lot about your season, because you're playing, I should say, so to speak, your mates. Do you understand? And you're kind of coming off the back of a very rocky period. You know what I mean? So City will be one of the title challengers alongside yourselves and Arsenal. If you guys drop points in that game and potentially go further away from Arsenal and City, it could have long ramifications in terms of like your title aspirations. With regards to the Real game, you man just need to get back to playing at your best against some of the very best teams, because that's going to give you the most confidence going into the rest of the season. So this is a very crucial part of your season, man. And even though they're very strong teams, Liverpool cannot afford to take these next two games lightly in any way, shape, or form. So
also, Virgil can dedicate Mbappe, bro. If you do that, you're dumb, bro.
Hey, I can't wait for them steps, boy.
Mbappe is moving crazy at the moment, man. Mbappe moving.
Nah, that game's gonna be delicious, man. Hey,
for me, I feel like it's gonna be two crazy games. But again, similar to the Villa, we can't afford to have one, bad performances, and then two, bad results. We can't. Against Madrid, I will accept a draw at home. Against City, I want to see a dub. Like nothing, like in the league, we can't fall behind any shape or form at the moment. Like, because when I'm looking at the games after this international period, from the Arsenal perspective, I'm seeing games where points can be dropped. I'm seeing, okay, now Arsenal are getting into a period where points can be dropped. You know what I mean?
Tell me more.
What I'm trying, obviously you might not, of course, but obviously what I'm trying to say is that this 7-point gap, whatever it is, it can't go to 8, 9, 10. It can't. So for me, don't lose to Madrid. Have to beat City. And I think City are very beatable. I don't think City, they're not the City of yesteryears. They're very beatable. We did it last season. We should do it this season. But obviously, like you said, and I fully agree, these next two games will show us a lot about us and tell me as well what going forward, what our season is going to be. Can I say, despite the toughness of the teams, hold on, Mace.
Yeah.
Can I say, despite the toughness of the teams, these are teams which will come out and play. We do way better against teams who will play football and not simply go long. Agreed. But, Madrid, they got technicians, man. This is not Villa playing out from the back. This is technicians. Nevin saying, one thing I picked out, City played to the 9th strengths, Erling, hence Shirky getting more assists. Liverpool play to the wingers more. We don't have a connection with a 10-9 link. Agreed. I mean, Wirtz and Ekitike sometimes link well, but he hasn't really produced much. Mace, go on.
Yes, I was going to ask, as a Liverpool fan and the Liverpool fans in the chat, I would like to know where, or more importantly, what's the next step? Where do you see Liverpool going from now? Do you call the league done? Do you reckon, or do you think there is still hope? Is there
For the league?
For the league, yeah. Because if you lose one game, it's more. I think it's more or less a wrap. Say you lose to City,
but
Arsenal
I
win.
think
That's a 10-point gap.
Of course, but obviously, like I said, these next 2 games will tell a lot. For now, I can't answer that. These next 2 games will tell a lot. But for now, I can't say that the league is done. I don't think so. I do believe you guys will drop points, but do I believe that we will, be there when you do drop points? That I don't know. So therefore, I can't answer yet. So the City game is a must win for sure. The Madrid game, based on our current form and their form, I'll take a draw, 100%. I'll take a draw there. Nevin said we have to stay in touching distance to Arsenal. 7 is fine till January. I think we're playing Arsenal early January as well. So for me, it can't increase to 7 points. And then, hope to get a result at the Emirates. Kenneth saying there's still hope for the league. We are 3rd right now. Arsenal City will still drop points. We can't allow a double-figure gap come 18 games played. Gerald saying Arsenal will drop points, but no team is consistent enough to close the gap. Yeah, exactly. So that is what will determine, man. Can we go on a run and will Arsenal drop points? But yeah, let's go to the other games, man. Brighton versus Leeds. Brighton beat Leeds 3-0. Welbeck. Hey, Welbeck. How old is Welbeck?
30,
I always look at Welbeck.
34, 35, I think.
And then I look at Sturridge doing punditry, and I'm like, Welbeck is your age mate, He's probably even
34.
older than you. Like, fam, he's still hooping. It's like he looks better than what he was when he was younger as well. But yeah, shout out them, man. Brighton getting a dub. Crystal Palace beating Brentford as well. That, things like that piss me off because, like, obviously we lost to both teams, right? But how we lose it to bro? Anyways, man, let's move on. Man. But yeah,
one thing I found funny about that game is the second goal Palace scored, throw-in. They scored from a throw-in against Brentford. I just found that so ironic.
Poetic, yeah. Yeah, man. Shout out Ollie Glass. What do you man think of Ollie Glasner? What's the ceiling? Can he take a top 16? Is he there?
I think the next person up is the Bournemouth manager. I'm not sure about Glasner.
Really?
I think for what Glasner has done with his career, in my opinion, the resources he probably has at Palace, the personnel he has at Palace, the system that he plays, I think Glasner can absolutely take a step up, man. Like if Glasner was at Tottenham, let's say, instead of Thomas Frank, I don't think Tottenham would look out of place. I don't think he would look out of place at Tottenham. And the Tottenham are a top 16, are they not? So I don't feel as if that job would be too big for him. I mean, the jury's still out on whether or not
Glasner over Thomas Frank. You think he's better than Thomas Frank?
I mean, I'm just saying the jury's still out on Thomas Frank at Tottenham right now. Do you know what I mean? Like week to week, I don't really know what Tottenham I'm gonna get. Do you know what I mean? So I think Glasner has a very high ceiling, man. I think he's one of the best managers in the Prem, 100%, man.
Agreed as well.
Because
one thing that I liked about him as well, I saw an interview, like I think this in the summer or something, where they were asking him about the 3 at the back thing and why is he able to do well with 3 at the back, etc. And he was saying, like, I just work with I play a system based on the players that I have. Like he's not bound to 3 at the back. Like he prefers actually 4, like a 4-3-3 or whatever. But if I look at my squad, I look at the players, I look at the quality, and that's what I base my formation on. So I like that about him as well. He's adaptable. He's not, you know what I mean? Not no Ruben Amorim thing.
I don't know how true it was, but I remember like lots of reports came out at the time that he'd said he'd consider walking away if Mark Gahey left. Do you understand? So he understands what he's trying to build. He understands who's important to his squad. And like we said many times on the pod, he plays more or less the same team every week. and you know what you're gonna get out of that team every week. Like
Yeah,
Palace are good, man. They're a really good team.
yeah, for sure. Fulham got a dub as well, 3-0 beating Wolves. That meant like Vitor Pereira got the sack finally.
Yeah.
Sessegnon gave me 14 points on FPL, man. I don't know what I'm doing still playing FPL, but this season
See the
is a
differentials.
myth.
Boy.
But yeah, man. Wolves gaffer sacked, fair?
Yeah, it was coming.
Man, it's an odd one because they gave him a contract like a couple of week games into the season, and I just thought, like, you're signing your death warrant here, man. But I don't see a situation where Wolves stay up. Forget the points aside. Well, I said this a couple of weeks ago. Like, I look at that squad and I don't understand what they've done over the summer. The personnel, I don't recognize half of the team. So I don't know how they were expecting these nobodies to translate in the Prem and for them to be picking up results, man. It's looking very, very dark. Whoever comes in, yeah, man. Yeah, Wolves could be looking at Championship next year, man, the way things are set up. So
Nevin saying Erling on 13, Joao Philippe, Welps both on 6, Walter Mada, Joko 4, big forwards coming back in fashion. Yeah, man. Coincides with the whole set piece trend that's happening as well in this very Premier League. Nottingham Forest versus Man United 2-2. Now let's stop here.
oh
man. Fam. So for almost 2 weeks, I've had United fans chatting shit to me about we're passing over the banter baton to you, man. About we're above you guys. You're not, bro. It took us one win, you know. It took us just one win, and they're quiet all of a sudden again. It was so bad, yeah. I had like 2 separate like WhatsApp like messages, personal messages at halftime, bro, when they were 1-0 up and they were second behind Arsenal. Noise, brother. Noise. Halftime. But know your team in it. Know your team and know peace, man. And that's what actually transpired as well. I was really disappointed with the first goal that they conceded because that was still in. That wasn't out. And even the header that they conceded, Casemiro, bro, like, come on, man.
Soft. Swiss cheese defense, man. So soft.
And it annoys me because Liverpool, we never get a free header like that. They clear it. They clear it, bro. But yeah, good header from Casemiro. Then obviously, second half, Gibbs White, good goal. Savona, I think he's a defender, right? As well, with a good goal as well. I think 2 set piece goals, and then Ahmad with a good volley.
Brilliant.
That was
goal. That was, man.
Yeah, but drop points for United, man. After back-to-back wins, they thought it was gonna be 4 on the bounce. My man thought he's 1 game away from cutting his hair. And then they go and drop points, man. But is there something to say for United for like fighting back and getting a 2-2? Because, you know, in yester weeks, it would be 2-1 or maybe even 3-1, which could have possibly happened. They could have even won the game. A mad volley again, but it was cleared off the line by Murillo. So what do you guys think in terms of the character of this Amorim team? Toast.
Look, man, like I said last week, United can't trick me, man. Like, United cannot trick me. Like mum's life, I went to take a shower at 1-0. When I come out of the shower, I'm seeing 2-1 Forest. And I'm thinking, this is the Man United that I know. Like, this is the Man United that I know. Like, where is your sense of, you know, okay, we do concede the 1 goal. Sean Dyche is a new manager. Forest are desperate for points. Let's kind of like shut up shop. Do you understand? Pass the ball around a little bit. Within minutes, you've conceded 2 goals and you've put yourself in a hole. I do respect the way they fought back, but they did highlight it on Match of the Day. And it's going to be a running theme throughout the season. Like, Amad Diallo, absolutely brilliant going forward. Amad Diallo and Diogo Dallo, absolutely brilliant going forward. But if those are your wing backs, you're going to be in hell defensively for large stretches of the season, man. Like, the way Jallo was just getting cooked by Caltech yesterday it was sad to see. But it's one of those ones where he brings so much on the offensive end that I kind of understand why you have to play him there. And if you're going to insist to play him there, you have to find a way to protect him. Match of the day,
better centre-backs,
they articulated it perfectly that there's no situation where you've got 3 centre backs. So why is the wing back isolated on the wing against the winger? Yoro, come out and help him and move some pieces around. And that's something that we're still not seeing the coaching from Amarim. Do you understand? Because those are really, really basic things. Do you understand? So again, like I said, it's going to be a lot of entertainment FC sort of matches. We're going to see a lot of high scoring games. We're not going to see many clean sheets, regardless of you guys playing back 5. So you United fans can forget what the clean sheets, you understand? But you have to kind of hope that the attackers are on job, innit, man? So, like I said, I think there'll be a lot of goals in this United team, but I can also see them conceding a lot. Let me go have a look at the table. Are they still owing the Premier League goals? Oh, +1.
No,
All right.
they're +1 now.
They're finally +1.
They pay their debts, man.
They pay their debts. They pay their debts. We back up. All right, say no more. So 10 games in, we have 10 games in. We have United at 8th place. I said it. Start of the season. I see them outside of the European places personally. I just think it's too big of a jump, and I'm sticking by that. So 8th after 10 games is pretty much where I expect United to be.
Yeah, man. Fair enough. Mace, thoughts?
I got no thoughts for United today, bro. I got nothing.
All right, man. Let's go to your neighbors then. Spurs played against Chelsea in the 5:30 kickoff. London derby, and this is probably, I don't know what the stats are between Arsenal and Spurs, but the Spurs versus Chelsea is even more one-sided. I don't know which one is more one-sided, but this one. And again, this was a question that I asked several times, and Strizza, our residential Spurs fan, would bite my head off. But why are Spurs a top 6 team? Why are they considered a big team in terms of sporting achievements? Because y'all people that, that have been in the UK for a very long time, you guys need to explain that to me, innit? Because I've kind of never understood it. I know it's a London team. They've got bread. I know all of that. Champions League. They played Champions League. There was a period where they were touching Champions League consistently as well. But your mates in the league, sorry, your mates in the same city. It's not even a mates thing. It's like a little bro. It's literally little bro. Your record against your neighbors is awful. Your record against Chelsea, awful. How? And then obviously Thomas Frank is my guy, so that is my guy. But this is a concern that I had at the start of the season, where I felt like, in terms of going forward, I don't trust this Spurs team. And yes, they scored at the beginning of the season. They were scoring goals. Remember when I said that? This Richarlison and Dom Solanke, I don't trust it. And this will be your downfall going forward. And it's proven now this to be the case, where, like, yes, obviously Spurs fans, they will blame Thomas Frank. I'm hearing rumors that players are not really liking Thomas Frank and his tactics or his way of training or whatever. I don't know, man. What you guys telling me?
Brother.
Yeah, sorry, man, it's gone.
Yeah, Toast. I'll just very quick. I saw that game and it reminded me of Ange, bro. The way they played, it was absolutely disastrous. Usually, to be honest, I will give a lot of props to Frank. I think he has Tottenham playing well defensively. They've been very solid, but this game, it seems like they just chucked everything away. And I don't know. Perhaps it's just the fact that it's in their head when they play their London rivals, and everything they've been trained to do goes out of the window. But they were absolutely horrific. It was bad.
Like, how's an away team coined a phrase at your gaff?
Yeah, it's
3
crazy.
points lane.
Yeah,
that's
crazy.
Like, Chelsea fans actually, bro, when that fixture come, 3 points lane, and they 9 out of 10 that they leave with 3 points, bro. That's mad.
They said Chelsea have won like five straight against Spurs. They've lost just once in the last 18, and they're unbeaten in 14 of the last 15 or something like that. I mean, it's hard to explain, but I might kind of agree in some ways with what Mace is saying, because I've noticed in the last couple of years that this rivalry, and maybe it's always been quite intense, but I've noticed that this rivalry has got quite intense over the last couple of years. Like, you kind of see like Pedro Neto clashing with Spurs fans on the bench. You obviously see like the Jed Spence clash with Kukurea. You obviously like, you're just thinking, what is going on here? Well, what is going on? But honestly, Spurs played like a team that they almost wanted to try and maybe the fact that it is a rivalry that we're discussing got to their heads a little bit, because it's inexplicable for them to be so just limp and pathetic in terms of a performance. Like, they offered nothing in that game, and it was a really well deserved and easy win for Chelsea, man. It's a strange one, man. I don't know, man. But and even the Chelsea Twitter account running bants with like the emojis, and then I always notice all of the Chelsea players on their Instagrams, they're writing these kind of like subtle comments. So that Spurs need to focus on the football, innit? That's all I'm gonna say. Forget all of the semantics, forget all of that stuff that's going on, the outside noise. You, man, have a game to win, and you're taking L's in front of your home fans. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, that just can't happen.
What have we made of Spurs under Thomas Frank? Anyway, obviously, Mace alluded to it. Obviously, defensively, they look a lot more solid. I mean, how many goals have they conceded?
8.
8.
To be fair,
so
yeah,
pretty decent for their standards. But obviously, going forward, it's not looking right. And obviously, they signed like also a 10, like Liverpool, in Xavi Simons, who was meant to be the one to, help unlock the attacking quality, creativity in that team. But even him, it's even like a similar story to like Wirtz, where like he found a lot of joy. He had very similar stats to Florian Wirtz in the Bundesliga for Leipzig as well, which surprised a few. But then he came here and he looks even worse than Florian. Like,
yeah,
also shy, not wanting to take people on, always passing it back. Whenever he gets in a 1v1 duel, 9 out of 10 times he's on the floor crying. Like, what's going? It seems like their attack is just Kudus. Richarlison, sometimes he tries, but again, he lost all his powers after leaving Everton, to be fair. Like, what's the issue and how do they fix it? I know how, but what's your guys' thoughts?
You know what? Just it's kind of like a slight digress. So just bear with me a second, Drew and Toast. Question: do you reckon this particular league is conducive for number 10s?
Yes and no.
Yeah, exactly. Yes and no.
Because I think for you to play number 10, you have to be somewhat industrious. You have to put yourself.
Oh, definitely.
And for like player types like Wirtz, and we're seeing with Xavi Simons, you just don't see that in that kind of physicality. So
that dog
in you, and I think you need that in order for you to rub shoulders in this league.
The thing is, yeah, with Xavi Simons, like at Leipzig, he kind of had that dog in him. He kind of was the one that was like setting pace in terms of the attacking for Leipzig. You know what I mean? So with him, I'm particularly surprised that at least that element is not really being shown in the Premier League. I'm actually really surprised about that, to be honest.
Yeah. But yeah, to answer that question, I think with Spurs defensively, they've been so much better. Obviously, Thomas Frank has got them whipped up into shape. The midfield, I don't know where they're going. Where in terms of progression, having say Saar, Bergvall, and Kudus as an attack, especially Bergvall, he just seems a little bit too raw and not there yet. You're not doing anything with that quality. Maybe I see the potential. Don't get me wrong. In a year or two, we might see him realize that.
I like him. I like him too.
But I just think with Spurs, they're just quality short from actually maintaining any sort of, I guess, progression or title challenge. And
Yeah.
honestly, with Spurs, it's always
Facts.
been their history. They've always been short, missing something. And then you kind of tie that with the lack of like the mentality as well. It's just a very vicious cycle, you know.
I think the thing is as well, it's like I don't think they underestimated it, whatever. But I think as a club, yeah, like if you lose a player of like Harry Kane's ilk, right? And you know, I was a huge Dominic Solanke fan from the Chelsea academy days, right? But
Yeah.
and I know he had a good season at Bournemouth, but that is not like for like. I think they should have been, and I said this to Strizza as well. They should have been super ambitious with replacing Harry Kane. Like at that time, maybe Ekitike, maybe try your. I know he would have had 4 years left at Newcastle, but he's like, I think, you know, Harry Kane, it has to be a like for like. You're not replacing him with the Donny that's already there, Richarlison. Dominic
Yeah.
Solanke is also not enough. You know what I mean? And I
No,
think that's
I
where they
agree.
went wrong. I know Heung-min Son was still there, but he was on his way down. But again, him leaving, they thought, okay, we'll get Xavi Simons. It's not the same, bro. It's not the
Yeah,
same. And I
I
think
totally agree.
that's been my gripe with Spurs. Like if they need to invest in a good striker. Now, most good strikers, they've all gone now. So I don't know who they now. Kolomwani, they got Kolomwani on loan. He's not moving mountains. He's not moving mountains at all. So
This is basically the issue. We went from having one of the Premier League's probably greatest ever goal scorers, if not players, in Harry Kane, a Son Heung-min who's obviously on the way down, but was a 100 club guy, extremely explosive in terms of goals and assists. And then I feel as if since then, all the money spent has just been trying to figure it out, whether that's loans or signings, like the Tells, the Odebears, the Simons. Jury's still out on Simons. Kudus and Kudus I like as well, do you understand? But obviously,
Kudu's a good signing, yeah.
Solanke's not quite worked out. Richarlison's not quite worked out. Like, and while these are okay, decent middle of the pack Premier League players, they're not needle movers.
Yeah.
Like, they're not 100 club guys. They're not like the Harry Kanes, the Son Heung-mins that you've basically relied on for the last decade. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, I just feel as if the investment, there's been a lot of investment, but it's not bared any fruit, if I'm being honest. And there's
I do think what Shalom said for the future, like if they keep going and they stick with one manager, so believe in the process with Thomas Frank, I think it may click, but you need that talisman up front. You need the one that puts them in the back of the net. And I think put Kudus central when Kulusevski is back, of course, and then move Kulusevski on that side as well.
Right.
I think that needs to happen as well, for sure. Because Xavi Simons, Kudus, bro, the most progressive dribbles, he dribbled past most players in the league. He's very strong. He's press resistant almost. So yeah, I think him in the middle would be much better, man. And he could get his shots off better that way as well.
Yeah,
man.
Before we move
Personnel.
on,
Mace.
yeah, I just want to bring you guys' attention and also kind of target this at Gerard, who's a Chelsea fan. What was Wesley Fofana doing driving? Have you guys seen the video?
I saw something, but I didn't click on it. What happened?
It was
He was speeding.
absolutely not just speeding. You know, on the motorway, you have like the reservation to the end, right to the left. My man just went around. He absolutely no regard for people.
Yeah, he was doing up GTA, man. I don't know.
I really want to know, as a Chelsea fan and also just Chelsea, see your player doing that. Like, I'm ashamed just watching someone do that. Like, as a Chelsea fan, like, it just showed no regard for someone's life or just for the rule of law in general. And I don't know. I just
they're bigger. They feel like they're bigger than life, isn't it? For the money that they got, the status that they have.
I get that, bro. But it's absolutely, for me, that was a letdown. I wanted to get Gerard's opinion on it, because that was something I thought we should discuss, because I didn't respect that at all.
There you have it, man.
Gerald,
Never say
anything to
Spurs
say,
are
my
much
bro?
better. Never say Spurs are much better away from home. Playing style maybe linked to that. Yeah, they got most of their wins away from home. Maybe that new White Hart Lane is not gingering them like that. Let's go on to today's game, man. And West Ham booked their first win, man, against Newcastle, 3-1. Nuno Espirito. When that who's was it? Suchek scored the third goal. When that goal went in, the way Nuno
He's still celebrating with his coaches. He's a funny guy, I say.
because he knows, boy, if they lost today's game, and it was
The
very possible it
pressure
was
is
Newcastle.
getting Vesa. Yeah, no facts.
Man. It was it was gonna be mad. But this says a lot about Newcastle as well, man. Like, come on, man. Like Eddie Howe's team, but Eddie Howe's team, I've always been like that. Even when he was at Bournemouth, very hot, very cold. There's no middle ground with him. Like, he can have the best games against the Liverpool or Arsenal, City, whatever, but then a routine win that's or something that's supposed to be a routine win will end up like losing, but also playing poorly, because you can't say this was like a smash and grab. You can't say like Newcastle were unlucky. Nah, West Ham were good value for this dub, man. And yeah.
What do you reckon about his
going.
do you reckon probably me just chucking excuses? Do you reckon he probably he's a manager that needs more like strength in depth, like a quality squad? Because I'm sure I saw the EFL Cup and I saw guys like Bruno and Joelinton playing, because they beat who did it beat in the EFL that Joelinton basically scissor kicked someone? Who was that?
They beat Tottenham in the most recent
Tottenham, yeah,
midweek.
Because I saw Joelinton like scissor kicking someone, so I thought, in my head, I'm
that
thinking,
was Kudus. Yeah, that was Kudus.
Yeah, Kudus. Yes, of course. Yeah. In my head, I'm thinking he's probably running these guys to the ground. And if you take into account how he plays, you need to rest your players. So perhaps could we kind of give him a bye? I'm not sure what you guys think.
I think with the Newcastle thing, I see it just more as they've not really invested in enough more quality players. Like, okay, so Baltimore is a direct play replacement for Isak. So let's assume they're one and the same. Other than, I guess, Alanga, who's maybe struggled a little bit to kind of break into the team. You read all the names on the team sheet, the Murphys, the Gordons, the Tonalis, the Joelintons, the Gomereses. These are the same players we've pretty much seen under Eddie Howe throughout the whole era. And eventually, it's going to catch up with you. Do you understand? Yeah. There's going to be some level of regression. They're 13th in the Prem right now in what I would consider to be a very kind of open Prem. And like they've been okay this season, but they've been very much middle of the pack. But Newcastle are a team that are playing in the Champions League this year. Do you know what I mean? And I don't really see them making any sort of noise in that competition with the current squad that they have constructed, man. I just think I'm not seeing enough from any of their players, if I'm honest, man. I think Jacob Murphy's probably the one person that I can say has been pretty consistent for the last couple of seasons, isn't it, man? Outside of him, like, big fan of Harvey Barnes, but he doesn't get enough starts. Anthony Gordon, who was really good early last season for the goal involvements, that has regressed extremely. Baltimore has obviously made a good start.
Baltimore's been good as well.
Baltimore has been good. He's made a good start. So yeah, it's an odd one, but yeah, man. I mean, there's gonna come a time where the 6'5" midfield is just not gonna click. Do you know what I mean? These men are getting old, innit? They're getting on a bit, man. Do you know what I mean? So yeah. Gerald
had a question that we skated over on the Spurs topic. He said he agrees about Spurs being in a big six, but if not Tottenham, who? Or should it be the big five? For me, we should go back to the big four days, man. But obviously City, innit?
I think we're beyond big four. And unfortunately, United, even though they're not really getting into the top 5-6 these days, they're too big of a club to leave them out of the big like 5-6 discussion. So I agree. Tottenham are the younger brother on the outside looking in, but I think they're good value for their
one out, bro. They're
good value for their six spot.
Italy, Greece, what other? And then you got San Marino. That's San Marino like, amongst all those countries, bro. Like, come on, man. Like, everyone got like things to put on the table. Anyways, man. before Strizza bites my head off. And let's finish it off with Man City versus Bournemouth. Top of the table clash, which ended up with a 3-1 win. Man City beat Bournemouth 3-1. It was a good game, man. It was a good quality game, especially in the first half. I really liked what I seen from Bournemouth as well. And I think Bournemouth, yeah, they're going to be a problem. They're going to be a problem. If they are able to maintain their performance levels from what they've shown so far, obviously they kind of did similar last season, but I think they've taken it another step this season by actually being in the top 4, etc. But yeah, I think this game was won on defensive lapses on their part, and obviously Haaland being Haaland. But even the O'Reilly goal, like that could have been like close your legs. That could have been avoided, man. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
in general, I didn't think like City outclassed Bournemouth. Obviously, when the 3-1 went in, it was match set and done. But Bournemouth were good, man. I like what I saw from Bournemouth, to be fair. But I don't know what you guys thought.
yeah. The way Bournemouth play is good, but of course you can't be open like that against a team like City. It's a bit naive, you know. Of course, when they play against the teams lower in the table, they will probably beat them. But when you play against top teams, you have to have a little bit of defensive nous, which they didn't. Why are you playing a high line against Erling Haaland? You know what's happening. Why are you doing that? Drop a bit. It's a bit rookie-ish. But yeah, with Bournemouth, I'm very impressed. I just like Semenyo. His ball carrying ability, so good. He just has legs. Like it reminds me of like a baby Mane. I think we made that comparison. Just the way he runs is absolutely scary. But yeah, Bournemouth will be Bournemouth. I think top 6 for them, or top 6 for them. I think they can do that. They can definitely.
I think they should. I think they should. On the back of last season, like not making Europe at all. For me, it's a failure. Of course, from the size of Bournemouth, it's not. Don't get me wrong, but the way they performed last season, they should have made. Where did they finish last season? I don't even think they finished top 8. Where I felt like they should have finished top 8. They finished 9th last season.
Yeah, they fell off a bit.
Yeah.
They fell off towards the end, man. Yeah.
So this season, top 6. Top 6. Let me say top 8. Top 6 might be because there's some good teams around there. But top 8 should be something that they should achieve, man.
I think they might have the Nottingham Forest fall off come the latter stage. The Nottingham Forest of last year fall off come the latter stage of the season. I think they're a very good team. And again, I'm still very surprised that obviously Cliver, who was their top scorer last year and one of their best players, is still kind of struggling to kind of establish himself as a starter again. He came back from injury. He's been in and out of the team. And Semenyo has very much been the talisman. And another thing as well, I know it's been only been a couple of games, but I've been really impressed by this Groupie Junior guy. I know he's quite young. I think he's only like 19. But if he continues playing the way he's playing, Evan Ulster might not get that chain back, man. Or they might be competing for that number 9 shirt, man, because he's looked really impressive in these couple of games, man. But yeah, I think Bournemouth have got a good team. They've got a great coach, got a good identity, competitive every single game.
Well. Good. I don't know. Good scouting. I know they had Richard Hughes, who's now at Liverpool, but the person who's doing it, I don't know who's doing it for them now, but they seem like he just picked up from where Richard Hughes left from, man. Like that Coopy Junior, I think they signed him from like a French team and everyone overlooked him, and they just
he's hooping, man. He's got what, four Premier League goals already, man. At 19, very impressive, man. He doesn't look out of place at all. You wouldn't think he was pretty much a kid.
City needed this win, right? I think they really needed this win to be, title to be in and amongst it. But also, obviously, the next game being Liverpool, where you can potentially give Liverpool the knockout blow in terms of, all right, now I just have to focus on upwards, and which is Arsenal at the moment. So I felt like this was very much needed. Personally, I wanted to see a draw, but yeah, fair enough, man. City, are they back? I don't think they're back, man. I'm looking at City. I'm like, You know,
It's-
but they got depth. They got great depth, man. Like people sleep on the depth that they have. Apart from obviously up front, if Haaland is out, it can get peak. But everywhere else, they look covered, man.
I think Haaland's gonna have another like generational type seasons, 13 goals in 10 games, which is just absolutely insane. But
He may
I
do a
don't
Salah,
know,
man.
bro. I don't know if they have enough of an offering going forward in attack to sustain them throughout the season. And I know like the Villa game, going into the Villa game last week, I was like, I have a feeling Villa are going to win this game. I just had a feeling, and that's the vibe City give me, that they can be had depending on the day, if that makes sense. So if Haaland's not, returning, they don't have the KDB anymore. Foden's not really scoring like he used to. So I think City are going to be a real competitive team this year, and they're still a scary team for me. I hate seeing them playing well and gaining confidence, but yeah, it's a long season, man. It's a long season, man. So let's see.
Let's see, man. Let's see. Any predictions for next week? Liverpool, City,
Who's
Liverpool?
home?
City, Etihad.
Boy,
Let's go for a draw.
boy. Yeah, man. I don't know if I see Liverpool getting out of
Not
that
what
one
you
alive.
want. What do you think? Man said, let's go for a draw.
Man, right now, the way Haaland's playing, the way Liverpool are defending, like overall, I think it's gonna be a very difficult day for your defense, man. I'll be so real. So yeah, man. But you're obviously good value to score as well. So it's probably gonna be like a score draw, I reckon, yeah.
Calm. Say less, man. Let's head over to the bar, man. It's getting late. Any shots?
Yeah, I got one.
Likewise, I feel like we might have the same shot here.
Probably do. We probably do. Yeah. Shot goes to Declan Rice.
Yes, sir.
Once he did that, I trust in God's celebration. I just said, pack it up. We're winning the league.
you know like that.
Well, he did that. I belong to Jesus.
I belong to
I
Jesus.
belong to Jesus, man.
I was like, pack it up. We're winning the league.
He's a believer, man. He's a believer, man. Yeah, man. Barman, let me get the same one. Can't say enough about him. As I said earlier on in the pod, nobody is asked to do more, and he meets that challenge every single week. Whether it's like driving the team up the field, making a defensive block, taking a set piece, scoring a nice header. Man, he's doing absolutely everything right now. I actually think he's got the second most points as a midfielder on FPL as well. So that's saying a lot in terms of bonus point, in terms of goals, in terms of assists, in terms of what he's bringing from an all-round kind of contribution, man. So yeah, man, shout out Declan Rice, man. He's been imperious, man.
Yeah. I've got a shot as well, man. My shot will go to Dominic Szoboszlai, man, because amongst all the nonsense that we've shown, the inconsistencies that we've shown this season, he's been the one standout player for us. If you look at like the sofa score thing and the player ratings, his thing is just green, green, blue, green, green, green. And that says a lot, man. He's just been, kind of like not carrying us to like wins per se, but like carrying us by setting an example of what you should be doing from a physical level, what you should be doing from like a technical level, what you should be doing from like a decision-making level, and even like a goal-scoring level, what you should be doing and assisting. I mean, so there were a few question marks from him, even from myself last season. Last season, I said, I'm giving Dominic Szoboszlai until January. If he doesn't buck up his idea, then I'm going to be Szoboszlai, sell him. But, yo, he showed up, man. Even from preseason. From preseason, I saw a few games and what he was doing. And I said, I don't know or care what the 11 is that Slot's going to go with, but Szoboszlai has to be in there. And obviously, he's proven his worth, man. And for me, long may it continue, man, because if we have Szoboszlai in that midfield and if he keeps, setting the example and setting pace, man, the rest will follow. And, yeah, we might get more dubs. So, yeah, man, my shot will go to Dominic Szoboszlai. And that's it, man. That's it. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you to the chat for joining us again. Once again, if you haven't liked the video, please like, share, subscribe. We'll try and be back again next week. We'll try to get Strizza here to answer his Spurs sins. If you have a Spurs, Strizza's on TikTok as well, by the way, guys, man. So I don't have his username, but Calvin Talks. Sorry, yeah, Calvin Talks on TikTok. So please follow him on TikTok, and that's where you can hear his misery about Spurs. It's pretty good. But yeah, until next week, man. My name is Andrew, aka Rapping Drew. Mace, Toast, thank you very much. We are the VBP boys. We out. Peace.
Peace.
On to the next one, man.